What is up, everyone? I'm coming on here for a couple of plays for the day. Now, I have a lot of picks in today's video that are going to be around college football and the college football conference championships that are coming up. And then I have some picks in the NFL, and then I also have a pick in the NBA, all right? So you should get 8 plays in today's video. So leave a like and comment for that down below in the comment section. If you guys don't know, I'm also giving away a signed Odell Beckham jersey this December. All you guys have to do is like and comment on every single video that I make in December, and you'll get an additional raffle ticket into the entry. So for example, if you liked and commented on today's video, you guys will get a raffle ticket into this entry. And if you get a ton of raffle tickets by the end of December, you'll have a better chance of winning this entry. So make sure to come on every day, like, comment your favorite team or who you think is going to win the Super Bowl, whatever it is, and you guys will get an increased chance to winning that right there. All right, guys? So let's get into how yesterday went before we get into the plays. We absolutely crushed it again, just getting a ton of setups. Again, these weekdays, whether it's Friday, whether it's Monday, Wednesday, we love to get setups like this for the weekend. So I told you guys last video that Call of Duty, there is a massive opportunity in Call of Duty. There were 3 games that were played in Call of Duty. You'll see all of them right here in the middle. 2 of the 3 games we got setups from. This game was very, very close. We unfortunately missed this one here, but 2 of the 3 Call of Duty games we actually cashed, or not cashed, but we have setups for going into the NFL and college football, right? So this is going into tomorrow. This is going into Sunday, and you guys will also see up here in the top left, we cashed a play for, I think, a 4.5x. I'm waiting for this one to come in, so I drew my own lines. What ended up happening is Willard DMP'd, so they subbed in another guy. This is in League of Legends. I don't talk about League of Legends that much because they've been on a break, but Jaiwu here, this team won, this blue team that they were on, they won. This guy got like 9 kills in this game because his team won. They did so well. And you'll see this other team here, which is a different team, but they just happen to also be blue. This team won also, and I took the unders thinking they would lose, but they won, so these guys both got 8 kills. So in League of Legends, one of my best esports guys. A lot of people sleep on the esports, but that is literally what I do year round because esports are always going on. Now, college football, NFL is very fun, and that is another way to make a ton of money is college football and NFL, and that is what we do here. But esports is also very, very good. You guys will see, if you don't know what we do on this channel, I do a lot of correlation. So for example, the Texas Tech guys took them over together, for example. The Jets guys, I took them under together. Why? Because Tyrod Taylor, AD Mitchell. If Tyrod Taylor doesn't do very well, AD Mitchell is not going to do very well either. And you will see that with actually a play that I sent out on Tuesday, which is this right here, is Ant Edwards over on the taco, and there was Mestamacher over, and it was Wyatt Young to go over. And unfortunately, once again, which has happened 3 times this week, we do not cash the combination of the players here, and you'll see that is because Drew Mestamacher had a really bad first half. He threw 2 picks, probably the worst first half I've seen the North Texas guys play, and he throws for 100 yards, which is really low for him. He honestly throws normally for like 200 yards. He's the leading passer in all of college football, and Wyatt Young, his number 1 target, by the way, his number 1 receiver, only gets 6 yards. So if a quarterback underperforms, the receiver's going to underperform. If the quarterback overperforms, then the receiver's also going to overperform. So hopefully you guys understand that. That is how we bet around here. I will also say, finishing it off, these were the 2 plays I sent out yesterday. It was this one here and this one on ONYX. This one on ONYX does cash just extremely easily, guys. We continue cashing on ONYX pretty much every single day. You'll see all of these picks that I've been sending on ONYX. We've literally missed 1 ONYX play in the past 10 ONYX plays, okay? No, this isn't 10. This is what? This is 6 plus 8. So we have missed 1 out of the last 9. I correct myself, not 10, 9. So 1 of the last 9 ONYX plays we've literally missed here. And all of these picks, like pretty much all of these picks right here, are on this channel right here that you guys have gotten completely free, okay? Now, this pick, and this is the last thing that I'll get into about recapping because a lot happened today. This pick I sent out today, and you will see that Anthony and Troy, they go over by like 1 yard. So I don't know if everyone got this. I don't know if it bumped up to like if this bumped up to like 230 or what, but these guys barely go over together. So that's nice to see. Again, I'm not sure if everyone got these exact lines because I know bumps do happen on PrizePicks, but we got very, very close, and this does end up going green together. As I always talk about the correlation, you got to understand that these guys are kind of tied together at the hip, right? So if you think about this, if this guy way overperforms, then his receiver's going to way overperform. If this quarterback underperforms, then the receiver's going to underperform. Let's say this guy kind of does middle of the road, just like this, and his line's like right here, then his receiver is probably going to do that as well if his line's like right here, and he's going to do the same thing. So you'll see both of these guys go over by just like a yard or two because they both kind of had a mediocre type game. If this guy threw for 400 yards, for example, this guy probably would have had 70 yards plus, right? Because again, that is how it works in football. So enough with that. Hopefully you guys understand that. Again, this is the strategy we use on this channel. We make a lot of money. You will see here, this is the profit that we have, the profit loss. Again, the nature of these 3-mans, 4-mans that you just saw here, or any of these screenshots that I'm going to show of these prior weeks. Sometimes they're going to hit like crazy. Sometimes you're going to go on a little bit of a loss streak because, again, it's hard to hit 4-man still at the end of the day. But you'll see ups and downs on the graph as always. If you get into the VIP, you need to understand that. If you do want to get into the VIP, I promise I'm about to get into the picks. ONYX odds is so free money right now. It's not even funny. Like, you can make so much money betting on ONYX, but not only that, you get $100 in free picks. Like, if you're not signed for ONYX yet, like, I don't know what to say because all these purple states, ONYX is available in. You can sign up for ONYX. You'll get $115 in free picks. You'll see all these rewards here. Just text me ONYX, guys. I'll get you a month in the VIP. I want you guys truly to make money sports betting. You guys can make thousands of dollars sports betting a month. I have multiple people doing that. I have multiple people making hundreds of dollars a month sports betting. And whatever level you are sports betting, you can start making money on ONYX. You can make money on PrizePicks. You can make money on all of these different apps super simply. Sleeper's another app that I love, and you guys can get 2 months free of the VIP for signing up for Sleeper. So enough promotion. Hopefully you guys understand I'm very transparent. I love to go over all my plays. It can be a lot sometimes, but I personally think I'm the most transparent person on YouTube when it comes to sports betting, and that is very, very important. That is like half of the battle right there, is being very transparent, because you guys need to understand why we're actually taking these picks and what these picks actually do long term, right? Don't just tell people for listening to them for like 10 seconds. So if you listen to all that, I appreciate it. Let's get into these picks. First plays on ONYX, we're going to go Anthony Edwards over 33.5 points plus assists. I just showed you guys over the past 10 entries, whatever it is, we're like 9-1 or something like that. So please tell these ONYX plays, guys. It is free money. All right, so let's get into the actual plays for the day on college football and on the NFL. I have 4 picks in college football, and I have 3 picks on the NFL. I will say some of these plays are going to be 10 out of 10s, absolute smash hits. I will call out the ones that are, but every single pick that I talk about is going to be very good in that I'm personally backing, so to speak, as my plays for the weekend. First pick, Bear Bachmeier. Taking them over passing yards here. Really like this pick. I think they're going to be playing from behind against Tech. Tech, very, very good team. They put up points. They lost by like 20 plus points the first time that they played each other earlier in the year. I don't think it's going to be that bad, but I do think BYU is going to be playing from behind. And one of the principles you guys have to understand about football is normally the team that's playing from behind is the team that's going to pass quite a lot. BYU is a very balanced team, but they will pass quite a lot if they are behind in games, and that is probably what's going to happen. And I think this line is too low for them. I think it should be in the high 190s, okay? So I think this line should be like 197, and it is at 186 right now, okay? So the second pick is going to be in this game also. This is my favorite game of the day, by the way, and it's going to be Caleb Douglas on Texas Tech. I mentioned Texas Tech, I think, is one of the best offenses in college football. I think if they make the playoffs, they could honestly go kind of far. I'm taking Caleb Douglas over fantasy score. Now, they have a lot of receivers. They have a very good quarterback, but I'm taking Caleb Douglas fantasy score. Why? Because you'll see here, they're projecting him about 4 receptions, and they're projecting him about 60 yards. So with that added up, 4 receptions, 60 yards, if you know how fantasy score is graded on PrizePicks, that gives him about 10 fantasy score right there. But you'll also see that he is kind of likely to go ahead and get a touchdown as well. So the reason why I'm taking this, long story short, is because he's a very balanced receiver. He can get 10 catches for 50 yards, and that would put him over fantasy score. He could get like 130, 140 yards just catching the ball on like 3 receptions, and that would put him over. Or he could get a touchdown and like 40 yards, and that would put him over, if that makes sense, right? So there's a lot of ways for him to get over. It could be with a touchdown. It could be with a super long catch. It could be with like 10 receptions, okay? That is a lot of ways to go over fantasy score, and I think Caleb Douglas is going to be a huge part of this game, and he's going to be a huge factor in getting Texas Tech ahead, like I said, okay? And I think this could be a shootout. Now, this is going to be one of those plays that I think is going to be 10 out of 10, guys, so listen very closely. We are going to take Fernando Mendoza, if I could spell his name. Mendoza, is he on the board? Guys, I went to NFL. I have no idea why I went to NFL. I have no idea why I did that. Okay, so Fernando Mendoza, this is going to be that 10 out of 10 play right here, and I'm going to take him over 27.5 pass attempts, okay? Now, the reason why, and you'll see this is a prime example of why these last 5 graphs are very garbage sometimes, because you're not getting the full context of the situation. You can look at this and be like, oh man, this is a really, really bad play, because you have a lot of things going under, right? You have a lot of these candlesticks going way under and stuff. But if you look at his schedule, guys, look at all of the games he has played. He has played a lot of very, very bad teams where they've blown them out by like 40 plus points or 30 plus points, and he doesn't even get to the third quarter starting the game, right? They'll take him out. They'll not even rely on him going late into the game. The 2 games that they have played that are actually good teams, that they actually played very, very close, was Oregon, 30-20, and he gets 31 attempts in this game. And then Penn State, this was a 3-point game, probably the closest game they had all season, and he throws for 30 attempts as well in this game. So he goes over by 3 and 4 attempts in the very close games they had. Now they are playing Ohio State. I think we can all agree they're going to either play a very close game against Ohio State and win, or they're going to lose versus Ohio State. And as I said earlier, when a team is losing, that is when they throw quite a lot. This is an absolute smash hit of a play, guys. I love this play so much. He's also the best player on this team, just without a doubt. So if you're playing Ohio State, why would you not pass the ball with Fernando Mendoza, probably the guy who's going to win the Heisman this year? There's no reason not to give the ball to your star player and let him pass the ball. Smash hit of a play, 10 out of 10. I absolutely love this play. I think it probably has I would say a 75+% chance of hitting. Amazing play there. Last pick in college football, I'm going to rapid fire through these a little bit quicker here, is going to be Darian Mesha to go under longest pass completion. Okay, guys, so I'm taking him under 41 completions. You'll see he does go under this quite a lot, and I meant to pull up a graph for it of why he does, how many times he has gone under this season, but he has only gone over this line 2 times this entire season. One of them was versus Virginia, which you will see here, but this was on a screen pass. That was a screen pass caught in the backfield, and then it was ran for about 50 yards. So, you know, with a grain of salt, does it really count? I will also say, if you look into the game that they played in mid-November, guys, look how shut down Duke got. They had a punt, 3 and out, punt, 3 and out, punt, 3 and out. Field goal, 11 plays for 33 yards. That's honestly not a very good drive either. Punt, 3 and out, 5 plays punt, fumble, punt, 3 and out. And then fourth quarter, they're down 31-3. That's the first touchdown of the game for Duke, and then they have another turnover on downs. So they played absolutely horrible. One of these touchdowns was also an interception, I believe, an interception for a touchdown, which was this, right? So they put up 10 points offensively, and one of them was in complete garbage time at the end of the game with, like, I don't know, 10 minutes left or something like that when they were down by like 30 points. So Duke got completely shut down last game. I don't see them airing out the ball very well against this team. Now, if you don't like the longest completion, you can take his under pass yards. You can take his under fantasy score. This is also good. But I do want to say that I like his under pass completion because it pretty much shows that they're not going to move the ball very well in this offense, and he's not going to get a lot of deep down in the field shots. All right, so these are the 4 plays in college football, guys. Now let's move on to the NFL. Again, I'm going to rapid fire through these because this video is getting quite long. First pick of the day, this is our second and our last 10 out of 10 play, all right? It is Vidal to go under 9.5 rush attempts, and the reason being, guys, is because Amarian Hampton is back, and every time Amarian Hampton has played an entire game, Vidal has gone under this line, and I think the highest he's gotten is 8 rush attempts. So Vidal is going to be a little bit, does he deserve a little bit more carries? Probably, but I don't think he's going to get them because they're playing the Eagles. They're probably going to be playing from behind this game because the Eagles are quite good. So I don't think they're just going to have a game where they're just going to run the ball over and over and over again, okay? So that is going to be the first play in the NFL. Second play, I don't know why, I just kind of like being honest in this video today. It's probably my least favorite pick of the video, but I do like Tyler Loop to go over 1.5 field goals made. They end up kicking a lot of field goals. Pittsburgh, I think they're going to move the ball. I think this is going to be quite a high-scoring game, Baltimore versus Pittsburgh, and I think Tyler Loop is going to get his opportunities to kick field goals. And then this is also a very, very good play, honestly. I'm kind of thinking about calling this maybe like a 9 out of 10, but it's going to be A.D. Mitchell to go under 10 fantasy score. Now, I took him earlier in the week. You'll see here, and I actually posted it on Twitter. If I can move some of this out of the way, but you'll see I took him earlier in the week here, and we have a setup for it on the VIP. I took him under 51 receiving yards. Now his line is 46 6.5, so I don't like it as much. I did post it on Twitter, though, so follow my Twitter because it was a play that I sent out as my play of the day, him under 51.5. But I do like his under fantasy score because if you look at this, if you add this up, if you add up his receiving yards and his receptions, if you know how fantasy score is graded on PrizePicks, it's pretty much saying that he's going to get around 8.6 to 8.5 fantasy score from these. And again, you know, he's going to need like a touchdown or something to go ahead and get this. Now, he has 1 touchdown in his entire career, guys, and it was last week. And this kind of goes on to my point. He had a very, very good game last week, okay? He had 8 receptions. I think he had 10 targets, and he had like 70-something yards or 80-something yards. Okay, at 102 yards. But the thing is, guys, this was one splash in the pan for a Jets receiver. They're still the Jets. They still do not know how to throw the ball. There's been games where Garrett Wilson, a much more talented receiver than Adonai Mitchell, and a much deeper in his career player like Garrett Wilson that gets actually game planned in this offense very well, he has had just stinkers of games where he puts up like 25 yards and stuff like that, right? So Adonai Mitchell, I think he's going to have a comeback down to earth, if you can even call it that, week where he's very, very hyped up this week. He just got a very, very good week last week against the Falcons. I think he goes crashing back down to earth. Maybe not crashing, but I think he gets another 7 to 8 fantasy score week and does not do that much, okay? So another very good play here. Here's my 3 picks in the NFL, guys. So 8 picks in total. Again, leave a like on the video for that Odell jersey, guys. I'm losing my mind, getting tired, so I got to get to bed. But sign up for ONYX, sign up for Sleeper. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you guys who stuck around to the end. Let's make some money this weekend. We are extremely set up. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.